that angels are real. And angels are spiritual beings. Right? The Bible even tells us that we should make sure we be careful how we treat people, because sometimes we will end up entertaining angels unaware. Now, when it comes down to that, since angels are spiritual beings, understand that the gender really isn't something that we should emphasize, right? So we don't want to get caught on, as Bishop would say, splitting hairs, looking at things that really, they matter, but they don't matter. All right, so we want to make sure you understand that. Now, when we talk about gender, what is the purpose of gender in the world? Reproduction. All right, so when we say that gender is about reproduction, we know that angels don't reproduce. God created angels, right? But now, traditionally, we say that angels are male because of what they do. The strength. In the Bible, when the Bible talks about angels, it always talks about how strong they are. Yes, ma'am.
I thought giants were the children of angels.
Hold on. We're gonna talk in a minute. All right? We're gonna talk. You're going to hear that. All right? Don't bring our home conversations into the church. All right? So, but when they were talking about angels in the Bible, they were portrayed as men because they were warring angels. And in biblical days, women did not go to war. So men went to war. So they would say that angels were technically, well, usually they had masculine behavior. Now, that was back then. You know, the line has been kind of shaded now when you talk about what's masculine and what's not masculine. No, we try to make it to a point where they're about the same, but they were different in Bible days. All right? So now, so we're looking at that. We have to understand that in the Bible, when it says angels, generally, it always says he. All right? The word for angel in the Bible is actually of a masculine form. There is no female form. I'm going to go over one section in the Bible where it talks about what some people say they're angels, and it talks about women, but it's technically not called that. But let's go to Genesis 6. We're going to start there, Genesis 6. Genesis 6. And we're going to start at verse 1. Genesis 6. We'll start at verse 1. For those that are just coming in, we had a question on whether or not angels are male or female. That was the question. Well, angels male or female? All right, you ready?
And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives, all of which they chose.
All right, now, some people say that these were the sons of God, were the fallen angels. All right, that's what some theologians say. Those are fallen angels. All right, come on.
And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years.
All right, life and breathe, come on.
There were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, and the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown.
Now. All right, now, that's when, if you study that, most theologians agree that's what the Nephilim, and they said they were superhumans. And they were superhumans because their fathers were fallen angels, but their mothers were women. No women, y'all got that. So that's what some people say, well, the angel had to be me. All right, I got it. All right, now let's go to Genesis 19. Genesis 19. This is pretty familiar for most of you. Genesis 19. All right, we'll start at verse 1. Genesis 19, we'll start at verse 1. Are you ready? All right, talk to me.
And there came 2 angels to Sodom at evening.
Now, you remember what Sodom is, right? All right, Sodom and what's the other city? Gomorrah. All right, Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, come on.
And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground.
All right.
And he said, behold now, my lords.
Now, he said, my lords. All right. That's masculine form, right? Come on.
Turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early, and go on your way. And they said, nay, but we will abide in the street all night.
Now remember, back in those days, it was customary to wash the feet of travelers coming in, right? Get the dust on the feet, right? Come on.
And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned into him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat.
Now, come on.
But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compared the house round, both old and young.
They circling the house. Come on.
All the people from every quarter.
All right.
And they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men?
Where are the what?
Where are the men?
So that means there must have been masculine form. If I follow it. Where are the men? They were masculine form. Now, everyone, hopefully, without us having to get too graphic, you understand now what Sodom, that city, was all about, right? Everybody understand what that city Sodom was all about. So they were circling the house. Hey, what old men that went in your house? All right, come on.
Bring them out unto us, that we may know them.
Now, when it says no, no means to be sexual with them. All right, they ain't saying, hey, introduce us. All right, that means be intimate with them. All right, come on.
And Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after them, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wicked.
Don't be so wicked. Hey, don't do that. Why you want to do that? Come on.
Behold now, I have 2 daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes.
Now, Lot was a righteous man. Lot was saying, don't bother these strangers, these angels. All right, but now remember, they had to have masculine form because the men of Sodom, all right, the men of Sodom, y'all get me? The men that like men, y'all get this? They wanted the angels because they had masculine form. All right? And Lot said, no, we ain't gonna bother them. Get my daughters. Now, when he said they had not known a man, that means these were virgin daughters. All right? I'll give you my daughters, but leave these angels alone. Because well, you got to remember now, the city was already in danger of being destroyed. All right, come on.
Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof.
Unto these what?
Unto these men do nothing.
Men. See, that was in. He's steady saying that they're men. All right, come on.
For therefore came they under the shadow of my roof.
And I'm responsible for them. They're in my roof. All right, come on.
And they said, stand back.
Now, y'all see this? This is how even the city of Sodom was. The man said, I want these men in the house. And Lot said, man, no, come on now. Get you a woman. Nope, we want no woman. We don't want no daughter. We don't want no pretty young bird. We want the men. Y'all see this? It's in the book. Come on.
And they said again, this one fellow came into sojourn, and he will needs be a judge.
Come on.
Now will we deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door.
These folks gonna break the door down. Y'all see this? To get to these angels, masculine form. They gonna break the door down. We want the men. Keep your daughters. Stop trying to be between us and these men. Come on.
But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut it to the door.
They're going to whoop Lot. So the angels pulled me and said, nah, we ain't going to do that. Come on. Come on back in here. Watch this.
And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blind.
Made them blind. Y'all see this? Now watch this if we're going to stop it. I think we saw it at me. All right? So they smote it with blind. All right? Said y'all want to play, be blind. But watch this.
both small and great,
Uh-huh.
so that they wearied themselves to find the door.
Uh-huh.
And the men said unto Lot, Hast thou here any besides son-in-law, and thy sons, and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city? Bring them out of this place.
Get out of here. In other words, they ain't saying, get your family, get out of here. Come on.
For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord hath sent us to destroy it.
There it is. The angel was sent there to do what? To destroy. And we see that it was said to be men. Y'all get this? They want to fight. They want to fight Lot and get in that house where those men were. Now, if you go to Zechariah 5, and there are some other places in there where it talks about some angels. I just want to just hit this. There are other places that always say it's he. But go to Zechariah 5. Zechariah 5. Zechariah 5, and I will tell you all, it is not a sin to look at the table of contents if you don't know what Zechariah is. All right? You can look at the table of contents and look up Zechariah if you need to. That's not a sin.
I had a question.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
So if I ain't the men, when people be saying help the women with the sign in Walmart today, I ain't that be lying.
I don't know what I'm saying.
You know the women with the sign, they be saying you better
Biblically.
they probably an angel.
Biblically, the angel will manifest as men when they show it. All right? But you know, there are a lot of things in our culture that we say and that we think is true, but it may not be tied to Bible standards. You see what I'm saying? I tell you, if you want to help somebody, pray and ask God to lead you, and the Spirit will tell you whether to help them or not. Everybody ready? All right, Zechariah 5 and verse 9.
Then lifted I up my eyes and looked, and behold, there came out two women, and the wind was in their wings. For they had wings like the wings of a stork, and I lifted up the ephah between the earth and the heaven. Then said I unto the angel that talked with me, Whither do these bear the ephah?
All right, now, you stop right there. Now, some people say that this means that there are some women that ain't. But now, notice he said he talked to the angel about those two women. So technically, it didn't say that. So we can't assume that. All right, but all the other times through the Bible, it generally says, talking about angels, says. All right, so they help you out. Well, the Bible references Michael and David. But now, tradition says that there are some other angels out there, and they usually have male names also. All right, now, the next lesson we got there, as I said, that was just a question we had. A lesson that's very much needed, and that lesson is godliness. All right, godliness. That's going to be our big lesson. Godliness. Godliness. All right, when you read that word godliness, what comes to your mind?
Having God-like features.
Having God-like features. Okay, that's good. That's a good one. Anybody else?
Being clean.
Being clean. All right. Anybody else? Godliness. Being holy. Okay. That's a scary word in most churches. You bring up holy, folks get scared. Anybody else? Say it.
Sanctified.
Sanctified. All right. What would be the opposite of godliness? Ungodliness, devilness, what else? Worldliness. Somebody said Satanist. All right, so all that's correct. But now, when we talk about godliness, what we're really referring to is living life where our conduct lines up with what God wants for us. All right, that's what we actually deal when we say godliness. All right, and if you call yourself a child of God, then that should be your ultimate goal, to live godly. All right? You want to be more and more like Christ. That should be your goal. Now, here's the catch. A lot of people think it's only for the pastor. Only for the deacons. Everybody else can do whatever they want to do. But the key is anyone that calls himself a child of God, that's what you mean. It's like one of my friends told me, said, he went to get some crab legs once. And most of y'all know, they say, I haven't been there yet, they say the best crab legs and the cheaper crab legs are at the casino. That's what they say. And one of my pastor friends said that he was like, man, I'm going to get some crab legs. And so he went to the casino, to the restaurant side, and as soon as he got there, he saw a lady, not the preacher. It kind of made him feel some type of way. But don't think that the only person that's in a church that should be trying to live right is the pastor or the deacon. Everyone should be trying to live godly. If you say you love God, you should be trying to live godly. If you say that God is on your side, then you should be trying to live godly. That's for everybody. Y'all got that. All right, so now, let's jump into the Bible and see. Yes, sir, talk to me.
When you define a Christian, who do you define?
When you, I can hear you.
Define a Christian, who do you define?
You define someone that's supposed to be Christ-like.
So, who was that?
That's anyone that's created, that's anyone. All right, so it's not a title. It's not for just a person with a title. All right, so here we go. Let's jump into the book. Let's start with 2 Corinthians 7. We'll start with 2 Corinthians 7. Second Corinthians 7. We're discussing godliness. Second Corinthians 7. And let's start at verse 1. Now, if you say you're godly, what will be a characteristic while you're looking for that? Somebody, what will be a characteristic of someone that you be kind, giving, respectful, honest, I can hear trustworthy, you show love, dependable, you be a servant, you be patient. Well, y'all throwing out some stuff tonight. Now, all these are characteristics of someone that is said to be godly, right? Or is showing godly. You show mercy, you be merciful. All right, that's good. All right, good. 2 Corinthians 7 and verse 1. Let's start there. 2 Corinthians 7 and verse 1.
Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved,
All right, come on.
let us cleanse ourselves.
Oh! Cleanse ourselves. If I'm going to be godly, shouldn't I be clean?
Yeah.
Now, I got a question there. Read that part again. Let us do what?
Cleanse ourselves.
Huh? That didn't say God gonna clean you. What does that say?
Cleanse ourselves.
There are some things you have to do. We want God to do everything. Jesus, take the wheel. What's wrong with your hand? You can turn the wheel away from the liquor store. You can turn the wheel away from the hotel. You can turn the wheel away from somebody else's business. Why Jesus got to do it? You ain't got the strength. But tell Lord the strength. Some things we have to do on our own. And it's a desire. And see, here's the thing. When it comes down to living holy and being godly, understand that it is a growth process. Some of us, we don't understand the concept of growth. And that's what messes us up. You have to grow. You have to grow. And you have to be careful when you're trying to belittle people and down people. They were in church, they didn't know this. They did this, they did that. They have to grow. I can't expect, I use the same example always. I can't expect a 3 or 4 year old to be on the same level as a 25, 26 year old. Something's wrong there. All right? If you see that 2-year-old with a pacifier, you may say that's too low to have a pacifier too, but you wouldn't dare say that they're in worse shape than me sitting here with a pacifier in my mouth. It's a problem with me. I should have grown. Y'all get that? All right, so come on, let's go again.
Let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness.
From what?
From all filthiness.
All filthiness. what would make something filthy? And we had to go, don't tell me no specific sins, because I know, some of us in the old church, they say the only sin was cheating, drinking, smoking, and playing cards. Everything else you was good. As long as you don't cheat, smoke, play cards, you good. All right? But how can we characterize what's filthy? In one little swoop there. Anybody? Anything that hurts the body and the soul? Your heart? Somebody say something over here. Thoughts?
Anything you're doing that's not Christ.
Anything you doing that's not Christ-like. If God is saying you shouldn't do it and you're doing it, that means it's not clean. And the Bible says in Leviticus there should be a difference between the clean and the unclean. The problem we have now is we're trying to say the clean is the unclean and the unclean is the clean. But God gives a distinction. There's a distinction between what we should do and what we shouldn't do. And all we have to do is follow. And do you all know that this is going to sound crazy, but it's not crazy. Do you all know that a lot of the problems we have in life is because we just literally go against what God says? There are so many issues we would not have if we just do things exactly like God said do. And I always use this example. You all heard me use it before. You wouldn't have baby mama drama if you didn't have a baby mama. Catch that. If you had a wife at your house, you would have a deadbeat dad if you had a husband and the man was doing what God said do. But the problem is we got to do everything our own way, and we cause these issues. And that's why God was telling us, hey, have you some children by your husband. Y'all be in the same house. Hey, wife, submit to your husband. Hey, husband, love your wife. And a pastor now talked in Walmart for about 45 minutes. And then God threw in there and said, and be not bitter against your wife. God knew that if you ain't careful, a man ended up being bitter. You told her 25 years, save $5 a month. Save $5 a month. Save $5 a month. And then you could have said, you get down a little bit, give me $100, I ain't got it. I thought I told you to save $5 a month 25 years ago. So you would end up with issues. But if we do everything like God says, it'll be straight. But it takes a process of us being willing to do. God's gonna do his part, but we have to do something ourselves. Clean yourself up. When we were little, our grandparents and parents would put us in the tub and tell us, wash ourselves up and everything. And then they come in there and be like, you ain't clean your ears and get the rub real hard. Y'all remember that? Hey, look at that, you still dirty. Now, you notice when they started rubbing, they rubbed a little hard. They were a little rough. Where you going with that? If God got to do some stuff, it gets a little rougher. You can do it yourself. Y'all get this. Come on, clean yourself. Come on. You lost your spot?
No, I got it. Of the flesh and spirit.
Of the what?
Of the flesh and spirit.
Of flesh and spirit, right?
Perfecting holiness in the fear of God.
Holiness in the fear of God. You reverence God. Holiness is not a scary word. Holiness means I'm living like God says live. And you ain't got to be bragging about it. Some of us kind of brag about our holiness. You got to be real careful with some of all the time. I'm living holy. Who you trying to convince? Me or you? All right? It's not designed for us to try to flaunt our holiness. Live holy. Live holy. Because you impressing me or me impressing you won't get you to heaven or hell. Because I'm not the one that has the key. Y'all got that? All right? The book of Titus. The book of Titus. Let's go to Titus 2. I want to start at the first first verse. I really want to get to 11 and 12, but there's just so much good stuff in Titus 2. Doctrine is biblical doctrine. Sound doctrine is wholesome doctrine. Come on.
That the aged men be sober.
Hey! The older a man gets, the more sober he ought to be. Now, I know somebody saying, well, he shouldn't drink as much liquor when he get old. Sober literally means you should be a little more timid. You may be a hothead early on in life, but life ought to calm you down. Your age ought to calm you down. So, all right? You shouldn't be, what's the old saying? There's no food like a old food. Some of you ought to start getting better as you grow old. All right? So, you should be sober. Come on. Grave, temper.
Sound in faith.
Your faith ought to grow. Come on.
And charity.
Your giving ought to be better.
And patience.
You got to have patience, all right? That's the old men. He mentioned the men first. Most of the time, if the men get in line, then the women will follow. You, come on.
The aged women likewise.
All right, let's talk about your aged women. You older women, you mothers of the church. What y'all ought to do?
That they be in behavior as becoming holiness.
Look at that. Now, why is it? And I used to wonder, he didn't mention the holiness about the man. He mentioned the holiness to the woman. Did y'all know that when a woman lives a certain way and with a certain standard, it'll make a man get right? Did y'all know that? If a man respects a lady, I don't care if he's cussing out the whole world. If a lady comes in that's respected as a lady, you chill out. Let me chill out a bit. She so songs with walked in. Come on, don't ask that. Women have power. Women have an effect on men that's unbelievable. How do you know that? Whole kingdoms have fallen because of a woman. Men have messed up their entire lives because of a woman. You understand it? So the Bible says in one verse, I go over this with counsel. I'm counseling. Adam know about that too. Adam messed all of it. When I'm counseling couples, the Bible says that a woman can win a man with her chaste conversation if she just has the right aura about herself. Now, the right aura is not wearing see-through up to your back. All right? When your short pants start at your waist and end at your waist. Yeah, y'all catch that. Y'all catch that. They can't start and finish at the same spot. Can't do that. And that's how it is now. That's how it is now. All right, so let's see. Older women, what you got to do?
Not false accusers.
Oh, so it said older women.
Not lying.
You old women. Old women, look at this. Look what y'all behavior should be. You should be holy. You should be holy and not false accusers. Stop sitting on the phone talking to other folks business and just spread lies. Y'all see this? This Bible. Now remember now, this is to Titus. And he was telling them about church stuff and everything. All right, come on. Come on.
Oh, my bad.
I'm looking for a reason.
Not giving too much wine.
All right. Now some woman said right there, see that? I can get my wine now. But you shouldn't be drunk. All
It's just not too much
right.
wine.
You shouldn't be getting drunk. Not giving them much wine. All right, come on.
Teachers are good things.
Teachers are what?
Good things.
Good things. You shouldn't be teaching your young women, final suckle, hump his head. You shouldn't be teaching that. Look. So watch it laugh, and she probably talked that. She probably heard that when she was young. You shouldn't be teaching it. You shouldn't be teaching it. All right? We have to understand that the older generation has a responsibility to teach the next generation. That's why our young people are so messed up. The older generation, we're not teaching them. Come on.
That they may teach the young women to be sober.
Come on.
To love their husbands.
Oh, to do what? So basically, this means you got to be taught how to love your husband.
Yeah.
You need to be taught. Don't leave your husband for this. You got to be taught. Help your husband out. Don't spend all the man's money and then get him $5 and then get mad when he said, don't do that. Don't do the man like that. The man come home and want a hot meal and all you done is warmed up some noodles and cut up a few hot dogs with it, and the man been working in the hot sun all day. Don't do the man like that. Don't do that man like that. All right? Y'all see this? Teach how to love your husband, how to treat the man right. Y'all see this?